Leave a note with your city or country, and like if you ever had to contend with a power-hungry HOA dictator. And check out my backup channel for even more drama-filled tales. Links in the bio. When she yelped into 911 sobbing, I was in armed danger, maybe barricaded, all due to the fact that I wouldn't comply with her wacky request to inspect my living room drapes. I couldn't fathom the gall. But in her ego-tripping fervor, Linda Carver was unaware the calm, professional voice on the other end of the phone was that of my wife, Emily. And Emily, with her impeccable sense of fairness, decided if Linda wanted a crisis, she'd get one that would give her nightmares. Living in Pine Hollow Estates with an HOA drunk on its own authority is akin to wandering through a maze of absurd rules designed by an addict to micromanage. When Emily and I originally entered into our image-perfect suburban utopia, with spotless grass and identical mailboxes, paradise was as it appeared. We were so green. That picturesque facade wasn't preserved by friendly neighborly relations, but by Linda Carver, HOA president turned self-styled dictator. In her early 60s, with a peroxide blonde bob that seemed to obey no laws of physics, and a closet full of gaudy blazers always paired with her lanyard, sporting the HOA seal, Linda wasn't merely policing regulations. She was creating them. Her interpretations bordered on the insane. We fought politely at first. Her first citation was for our sprinkler coming out 20 minutes late, with photo timestamp, followed by an email exchange belittling the fact that our front door wreath was autumn blaze instead of board-approved harvest glow. The difference was so infinitesimal that it could confound an experienced color theorist. Each of these exchanges was a masterclass in mean-spirited tyranny. And even though we complied with the rules to avoid trouble, we started recording everything, followed only email for purposes of paper trail, and kept low-key. But to Linda in her head, our submissive compliance looked like a provocation, as if we were hiding some sort of criminal enterprise, like an unlicensed gazebo or illegal pet peacock. Her incursions became more arrogant. She'd stand outside our windows, not glancing, but full-on scanning, as if she were inspecting our furniture for violations of the regulations. She even wrote one note that a ceramic bowl on our windowsill shattered the aesthetic harmony of east-facing facades. Emily, a 911 dispatcher who handled actual crises, found it gruesomely funny. "My callers handle real emergencies," she'd say. "Linda creates them out of paint chips and grudges." Linda's obsession with us just intensified further, likely due to the fact that I had earlier stood up to rebuke her at an HOA meeting. She demanded the HOA control the first 6 feet of every driveway. I politely read her bylaw denying her claim. The look she gave me could have vaporized metal. Her arbitrary checks of our property then multiplied. The fabled 911 call was ignited from her obsession with some non-existent interior design regulation. She caught a hasty glance of our curtains and decided that they would be violating some loose seasonal decor protocol. It was a quiet Wednesday morning, my day off. I was enjoying a precious, peaceful cup of coffee when the doorbell rang out a burst of urgency. Peeking through the peephole, I knew her. Clipboard in hand, eyes narrowed with purpose, wearing a neon coral blazer that screamed, "Crazy authority." I sighed and opened the door. "Linda," I said calmly, "what's this?" Her gaze darted over my shoulder, clearly trying to look in. "Mr. Bennett," she snapped, "I'm here for the scheduled interior aesthetic audit." "Scheduled by whom?" I asked. No email, no notice. Even by her twisted policies, that was required. "I don't recall any audit, Linda," I said. "And I'm busy." I wasn't lying. My coffee was heating up. "This is official HOA business," she declared, standing tall. "Everyone has to get in line. I need to come in and inspect your living area, i.e., your window treatments and overall decor alignment." Decor alignment? I almost laughed in her face. "Linda," I said, reclining lazily against the frame so that she couldn't see inside, "unless you've got a court order or some bylaw that entitles you to enter my property, you're not setting foot inside. This is private property." I was as civil as could be, but firm. I knew those bylaws better than she. There was no clause that allowed for random interior inspections without consent or real threat. Her jaw set, and that coral-colored blazer of hers was humming with fury. "Are you refusing an official HOA audit, Mr.?" she snarled. "That's a very serious violation." "I'm denying unauthorized access. There's a difference." The standoff persisted. Her reasons were becoming increasingly fanciful by the second. She demanded that there had been an anonymous. She punched dial, glaring at me, hoping I would fold like a dirty rag. I didn't flinch, just stared. Theatrics dripped from her lips as she spun away, phone pressed to ear. "Hostile citizen," "hazardous situation," and histrionic gasps were echoed down the corridor. I imagined Emily behind her console, maybe halfway through a swallow of coffee, struggling to suppress a smile at reading the address. Later, Emily would dramatize the entire call in rich relish. Linda didn't turn me in. She waged a blanket soap opera harangue. "911, what's your emergency?" Emily responded, calm and crisp. "This is Linda Carver, HOA, president of Pine Hollow Estates," she yelled. "I'm being threatened and harassed at 312 Pine Hollow Drive. He's refusing an official audit and behaving irrationally. Send police." Emily muffled her mic, probably snorted, then logged the call. "Can you clarify the harassment, Ms. Carver?" she asked flatly. "He won't let me into his house," Linda yelled. "I'm here for a routine inspection, and he's obstructing the door. I feel threatened. He might be unstable." Emily gently pushed her. "Did he ever threaten you with his words? Does he have any weapons with him? Are you in danger at the moment?" Linda paused. Believing that he will not allow me to inspect his drapes was not an emergency matter. "His voice is menacing," she exploded. "No visible weapons, but people like that? You never know. He's hiding something, I bet. I demand officers." Emily, in full dispatcher mode, responded, "Ma'am, denying an HOA inspection is usually a civil issue unless there is an overt threat." Linda escalated. "He's undermining neighborhood order. This is the beginning of chaos. Unregulated lawns, mailbox anarchy." Emily barely stifled laughter. "What did he say that made you feel threatened?" Linda ranted on my nonviolent refusal being aggressive resistance, as if I was hiding contraband pillows. Emily appeased her. "We're taking note of your complaints. Units are being alerted," which of course meant nothing was being dispatched. I stood in my doorway while Linda let drop her phone with a snarl. "You're finished now," her eyes warned me. I just sat back, sipping what remained of my coffee. Emily, as usual, enjoyed frustrating system abusers, such as Linda. She was going to give Linda exactly what Linda wanted, in the most infuriating, technically correct way possible. 10 minutes passed. No sirens, no officers. Linda was seething with anger. She called again. "911, what's your emergency?" Emily asked again. "It's Linda Carver. Where are your officers?" "He's still in there, possibly destroying evidence." He laughed at me at the window. I had, in fact, laughed, but not at her, at the absurdity. Emily, as always composed, responded, "Calls are priority by level of threat, Ms. Carver. We have your report. It's recorded." Linda exploded. "I'm the president of the HOA. His insubordination imperils rule. Anarchy, unpatriotic bushes." Emily's voice ended matters with a soft decisiveness. "Refusal of an HOA audit doesn't generally warrant priority police response unless an obvious threat exists." "Linda,